Hey guys, Chris here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to cover what to do on a date, and more specifically, what to do on a first date. Now, unfortunately, ladies, this is going to be a video on what to do on a date with a girl. I may do another video for, what to do on a date with a guy. A little bit later if you want to see that, subscribe, but for now this one's just for the gents, I'm sorry. Now the reason that I'm doing this video is just that I get asked this so often by both clients, non-clients, guys, girls, old, young, everyone seems so confused about what to do on a date, and I really think that comes down to one thing. There's so much social bullshit about what you should do on a date. Everyone is so concerned about what they should be doing on a first date and what's going to impress the girl, rather than what I would consider to be the key factor, and that is, what first date are you going to enjoy? I just think that this is key, man. Like, a common thread through all of my videos is a girl is responding to you much more than what you're saying and doing. So by the same vein, your passion, your motivation, your enthusiasm on a date is going to be significantly more important than what you do on the date, than where you go on the date, than really anything else on the date. How often do you hear the case of a guy meeting a girl, he'll take her to some fancy restaurant on a first date, and then he'll do everything correctly, and then she'll never want to see him again, and he's baffled as to why. He's like, I did everything right. Why doesn't she want to see me again? I thought that was a really great date. But the big thing with relaxing on the date comes down to scarcity. If you go on one date every year, of course you're going to fuck it up. If you meet 2 or 3 women a year, you're going to be really, really nervous. And a large part of that is because of that you've not dealt with the scarcity. A lot of people don't enjoy dates because they just don't go on them that often. If you don't do something very often, you're not very good at it. If you're not very good at something, you're not going to like it. You're not going to enjoy it, generally. A large part of getting better at dates is going on more dates, being open to more people. This is the same advice that I give to girls that ask me this as well. Go on more dates, have more conversations, get rid of the scarcity bullshit mentality that I've got to get a girlfriend, I've got to sort this out soon, I'm 29. That is the worst mentality to go into a date with. So specifically, what to do on a date. Or what should you do on a date? Again, as with all my videos, this is completely subjective advice, so take it, leave it, whatever. I really think it's so important to do something on a date that you enjoy. What do you enjoy doing? I had a client a little while ago take a girl to a, what was it? It was fucking strike bowling. I'd hate that date, so I'd probably go, shit. He really liked that. That was his idea of fun. So he was more taking the girl along to something that he was enjoying. What would you be doing with friends? What would you be doing if the girl wasn't even coming with you? So my date, going to meet a girl in a bar for a beer or even just a coffee in a nice place, I'm generally doing that anyway. I've usually got my laptop. Oh, you brought your laptop. That's what I'd be doing anyway. I'm inviting you into my world rather than trying to create some bullshit world that I feel will impress you. So don't do the date that you think is going to impress her. Don't do the date that you feel you're supposed to do. Don't go out for a fucking dinner. I hate going out for dinner. A date that I'm not enjoying, just by default, is not going to be that good of a date because I'm not enjoying myself. I don't like the idea of first dates being 2, 3, 4 hours. If you're enjoying it, fantastic, and stay. But I've coached a lot of guys in the past who have done 3, 4, 5 hour dates because they didn't know how to get out of it. They didn't know whether they should kiss her or escalate the date, but then they also didn't really want to leave. So even though the first hour of the date might have gone really well, the last 2 hours are just really weird. This is again why I really like just a drink and a coffee as a first date. Let's just meet for a quick drink, quick coffee. There's no pressure. You have an out. If you don't like her, she has an out. If it's just going weird and awkward, you have an out. Dates used to make me very nervous when I was first starting out on this path. And what I realized is if I kept them short, I'd be much less nervous because I wouldn't have to worry about those last awkward 30 minutes where I'd be thinking like, do I invite her home? Do I try and kiss her here? So I feel that there are two things that concern men mostly: what to talk about on a date, which I'll cover next, and how do I escalate this date? A lot of men will go on dates, and I've fucking been there. I think we've all been there. You go on dates and you're having a good date, and an hour into it, she's looking at you and you're looking at her, and you can't escalate it. And remember that you can always do more if the date is going well. You just suggest going to get some food or something. My date example is I love meeting girls for a drink or a coffee just to see the vibe of it. You know, if it's going shit, then I'm out after a coffee. But if it's going really well, that's when I'll say, I'm going to grab some food. Do you want to come? Then we'll go get some food, maybe kill another hour or two. In short, the way I suggest doing this is just to fucking say what's on your mind. Sometimes you can even make fun of it. Like, I know there's some kind of weird stereotype about you not coming home with me. I'm gonna go home, chill out, watch a movie. If you wanna come, I'd love for you to join me. If not, I'll send you a message through the week. What to talk about on a first date? What do you want to talk about? Whatever you want to talk about. There are so many rules. Don't talk about your exes and don't talk about religion. They're two of my favorite topics. What do you really enjoy talking about? Like, talk about that. Because again, a girl's responding to your passion, your enthusiasm. If you don't know your favorite things to talk about, that's your first fucking exercise. Go and write them down. Come up with at least 5. Dating, psychology, meditation, exercise, UFC. I love talking about any of these sort of things. Now, yes, a girl might not necessarily be that interested in UFC, but it's not gonna matter. Like, if you sit there and talk about UFC for a fucking hour and you're not reading her, that she's not really buying, she's not really into that conversation, then you fuck that date up. But like, if that comes up and you express how much you love it and like why you love it, if you're enjoying the date and you're enjoying the conversation, that's what she's responding to more than like UFC. Also, what's really important here is, what do you want to know about her? I just think that this is so important, and guys are so obsessed with this notion of like not asking questions because they fear sounding needy or like it's going to be fucking interview mode. The only time it sounds like interview mode is if you're just trying to fill space and you're asking questions to kill time. Like, if there are legitimately things that you want to know about the girl, again, you should know them. Write down 5, 10 things that you really want to know about a girl that's important for you to know. Like, for instance, one for me, which is again kind of cliche, but I really like knowing what a girl does because that tells me a lot about the girl and where she's at in life. I'm really interested in that. When I'm personally asking questions, it's not just a question. It's telling me a lot. So, tell me about your family, whatever. Her response to that, it's probably a little bit forward for a first date, but her response to that is going to be, I'm going to be analyzing that, you know, because I'm interested. I want to know that if this is a girl that I really click with or not. Just read her vibe, get a bit of a feel for her. You'll know, well, you should know, what she's interested in talking about, what she's comfortable talking about, you know? You need to know when a girl is being bored by your conversation. Change the fucking topic. You need to get a bit of a feel if she's not comfortable, you know? Lean back, ask if she can get a drink, maybe go to the bathroom for 5 minutes. You've got to be constantly just reading her vibe and just thinking, what is she maybe thinking? What is she probably thinking right now? What is she feeling? Do I pay is such a massive fucking controversial thing, and a lot of guys watching this are going to tear me to shreds. Please comment below. Yes, if you met the girl and you asked her out, just fucking pay. However, it's not for the reason that you think. I advise my clients to pay just because, one, ideally you should be going on a date that's a drink or a coffee, something short and something just to get a feel if this is on or not. You start offering fucking dinners to girls left, right and center, what's going to happen? Girls are going to start using you for dinners. So that's the first thing. You're probably only paying fucking $10 or $20 if you're doing it correctly. But also, if you really like the girl, you don't want to fuck up a date by just having this awkward, like that condition is so socially ingrained into her, whether she's a nice girl or a party girl or whatever, that's so deep in there. Personally, I just can't be fucked dealing with it. Like, oh, I had the Coke and you had the wine. I just can't be fucked, man. Sneak off, go to the toilet, pay the bill, come back, just walk out. Like, I think that's really good. You'll be walking up the street. Oh my God, we didn't pay. Oh my God, no, we didn't pay. fun with it, man. So again, if you're very adverse to paying for the girl, sure, that's fine. I'm just saying that that's probably going to impact your date. If you've had a good date and then at the end you want to split the bill, the social rules are fucking social rules. I hate most social rules, whatever, but there is just no denying that that will affect the date. If you are having drinks back and forth, pay attention to if she does ever like, all right, let me get you a drink. Because if you're going 3, 4, 5 drinks and there's never once an offer to pay, I see that as a huge red flag. If you're further down the track and you're going on the second, third date as well, and there's never any offer for her to pay, whether you want to take it or not, I see that as a huge red flag. Again, this is very different in different circumstances. If you're dating a fucking backpacker with no money, or you're dating a girl from uni or something, of course, it's different, you know. But if you're dating a girl who has a job, and I just see that as a big red flag. I don't want to be someone's fucking daddy, not in that context at least. A lot of the times I'm not even going to accept the money, again, just because I can't be bothered. Just like, dude, just let me buy you a fucking $4 coffee. So a couple more date examples. I gave you mine earlier where I'll just meet a girl for a drink or a coffee, primarily because that's what I enjoy. And then if it's going well, I'll go grab some food with her and then I will invite her home. Usually I'll save other things, movies or like wandering around like a festival or dinner or whatever. I'll save that for later dates. Another really good friend of mine, his stock standard date, at the time he had not much money. So he would meet a girl in Federation Square, if you're watching this from Melbourne, and he would grab 2 coffees from 7-Eleven, one for him, one for her. They'd go sit by the river for a couple of hours. If it was going well, he'd invite her home. That was a $4 fucking date, you know? So, and a lot of them went really well. That was his sort of stock standard date. Now, my date and his date are very go with the flow. We arrive, we grab a drink, if it's going well, we kind of suss it out and see, well, maybe we should go check this out. I'm gonna grab some food. Like, you're kind of going with it as it goes. But another friend of mine believes that you need to have much more of a structure to a date. This is what works for him. So he'll meet a girl in this one specific bar that has these really cool cocktails in the city. He'll then take her as a spontaneous idea to go to like this air hockey place and they play fucking drunken air hockey for a while. Then he'll end the night by suggesting they go get this pizza from this really cool Italian place, which conveniently is right next to his house, and then he'll invite her up. And like, he did that date dozens of times. That's just what was comfortable for him. You know, sometimes the girl would come home with him, other times she wouldn't, and he'd see her again for a second, third date, whatever. It's really whatever works for you, what you enjoy and what is comfortable. So look, these are just a quick couple of points on what to do on a date, what to do on a first date specifically. I narrowed down the top 21 mistakes that I see my clients make. These are conversational mistakes, approaching mistakes, mindset mistakes. Again, this was a very big list that I narrowed down to the most common ones that I really do believe that 90% of guys that I meet for coaching are making, and a lot of the time they don't even realize that they're making it. I really believe that that video will help a lot of guys just understand themselves and dating a little bit more. No strings attached. You can just completely go and fucking download that, get watching it. I'm sure it'll help you. So I hope this has been helpful. I've had a lot of guys message me about these videos lately, just say that they're liking them. A lot of guys really liking my book as well. So I appreciate every single fucking email that I get from you guys. I read them all, I reply to them all, and even things that I could tweak or fixes, like I really appreciate them as well. So personal thank you to all those guys. Anyway, peace.